Hey guys, it's me, Drew, aka the Green Arrow. Um, what I'm gonna do is a little bit different. As I said, I'm like kind of like looking at doing new things on my channel. But quite a few people of recent have been asking me about a certain company which I used to work for. And basically, I want to give you like my honest opinion of this company, where I see their positives and their negatives. So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna break it down for you. Okay. So I worked for a company. I heard about a company before I left London, because I moved from London to Manchester, and I heard about a company called Mint. And everybody was telling me basically don't work for this company, they don't treat people right, etc., etc., etc. And I thought to myself, you know what, right? People most probably are hating on this company because maybe they done something wrong themselves, and they really don't like the company, whatever. So I thought I'll give it a shot. So I did. I started working for the company, which was it was good. Like, I went to my training. Okay, I went to my training. This is going to be my first one, actually. I went to my training. Okay. Now, I've worked in the bar industry and the hospitality industry for about 17 years now. And the training I've had through working in this industry for as long as I have has been a really good standard of training. Now, me personally, I don't like really the silver service side to it, or the serving food and any of that kind of stuff. But you know what, to be fair, I'm good at what I do, and I did it. Yeah, not a problem. I've done it for a long time. Crack on. Perfect. Yeah, I did it. Right. Now, the training that they provide you ain't that great. Yeah, it consists of you sitting at a table, and you basically go around collecting plates and cutlery off of people, and you hold them and you walk around the table, you collect the next one, you walk around the table and collect the next one, walk around the table, get the next one, and that's your training, right? Now, I'm not being funny, but to me, that's not training, yeah, at all. What the training should consist of is full training, because like when I was out on site, you'd get people who were basically spilling food on everybody, scraping plates in front of people. Now, that in itself is wrong. You get told you can't scrape a plate in front of a client because it's bad practice, yeah. And you don't want, you don't want to see somebody scraping like food next to you, and you're just out to have a good time, have a good night, right? Now, the training that should be provided should be like, you should put like a couple of bits of food. All right, yeah, fair enough. You might not want to spend the money, but for good training and for proper reasons, you don't have to spend a lot. You could go and get, I don't know, some kind of custard or something, a couple of vegetables, cook them, like a bit of like meat somehow, like go to Tesco's or something, and you see like the chicken they have there, like have that, have a bit of like gravy or something, and do it properly so people know exactly how it's done. So you pick the plate up and you turn away from your client, you scrape the plate, you move on to the next person, etc., etc., etc. You go around and you do it that way. And you do it more than once, And when somebody does something and they mess up, you don't just laugh and fob it off and be like, yeah, that's fine. You're like, you know what, can we start again? And yeah, it may take a bit of time, but proper training takes time. Yeah, it's not something you can do within just a couple, no, not even an hour, yeah, like within 10 minutes. You can't say that you're fully trained, that person, to go out and be able to do that job. Do you understand? So that's like my first thing. Their training scheme is a bit rubbish, yeah, right? You need to actually do full proper training with people so they know exactly what they're doing when on site, yeah? Which in turn, it makes people like my job a lot easier. So when I'm telling people, listen, you don't do it this way, you don't do it that way, you do it the other way, yeah? They kind of are like, wait a minute, that's what was in my training, so yeah, that is the right way. Because when I go and correct people and say to them, no, you don't do it, you don't scrape on a table, We put it away. It was like, well, that's not the way we were taught how to do it. So I think the training scheme that you guys have got need to be reevaluated. So then you go down to loads of people complain about getting paid, and that was like one of the most frequent things I've seen online. Yeah, is people have complained about doing hours and not getting paid for doing those hours. Now, as a company, it's your job to pay your employees for the hours they do. Now, there's so many different reasons for why you guys give for why people don't get paid for their hours. You know, you've not had the timesheets handed in. Yeah, that's bad housekeeping on your behalf, because like, you're the guys who send these people out to work in the different venues and different places they go to, right? Which in turn, you know if someone's there or not because you're there calling them and making sure they're there. So you know that they're at the job, but then when it comes to paying them for it, you talk about you can't find a timesheet. And that's the most frequent thing that you'll see online if you check. Yeah, it's all about the timesheets. Yeah, it's bad housekeeping on your part. It's annoying everybody. There's loads of people that haven't been paid for the hours they've done, surely because you said you can't find a timesheet for a job that you know they've gone to. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You know they've gone to the job, but you're not paying them for going to that job because you can't. They can't provide you the timesheet. But why should they provide you the timesheet? Do you understand? Like, you've signed them to work there. You should be taking care of that timesheet, not them. So regardless if they take a picture or don't take a picture of that timesheet, it's not their responsibility. You sent them to work, they've gone to work. It's your responsibility to pay them for that work, right? Period. Yeah, right? Then you've got other things, yeah? You've got like the people who work within the office. Yeah. Now, that there is a big thing as well, yeah, because a lot of people get really annoyed, yeah, and myself included. It was like when we were out on jobs, and you know, people were like, "Well, how do I get home?" Yeah, there's supposed to be somebody on call 24/7, taking care of basically these problems. If problems arise whilst being at work, there's somebody there to take care of it. Every time I would call or somebody else would call, no one would ever pick up, you know, and you think to yourself, wait a minute, I'm trying, yeah, to sort out a problem, yeah, with another member of staff, or you're trying to get your staff home, yeah, you've been promised that they can get home, but nobody's answering. It falls upon you to actually do something about it, and it's hard. It's hard when you've got nobody from the office answering your calls. Yeah, you're kind of like, you're thinking to yourself, what am I doing? You get me? What am I to do? And you've got everyone moaning at you, and you're feeling bad, but there's nothing you can do. So I think your office staff need to be trained in basically having a backbone. Yeah, they may not want confrontation, but unfortunately, it's a part of the business you're in. If a member of staff's got a problem, you're there to address it and solve it and find problem solve it, basically. Not turn your back on your staff and blank them completely. That's wrong. Yeah, you got a fix on that. It's just a little customer care, yeah, or staff relations. You get me? Like, not everything you do, someone's going to be happy with, yeah. But you still got to take that time to kind of like deal with the situation. Then you've got staff on site, yeah, who are basically supposed to be in the office and ain't in the office. You've got a problem, you can't find them, you call them, no answer. That's bad as well, because when you've got a member of staff you're trying to deal with because they've done something, and you're trying to find the person who's supposed to be in the office who ain't in the office, man, you're getting moaned at because this person's not in the office. Yeah, but you should try find them. How can you find a person who don't want to be found, who's actually supposed to be in the office anyway? Like, you've got to address that. When you're in a place, you're in a place. Period. Yeah? Done. Like, when we need to find you, we know where to go. Or you answer your phones. Yeah? It's as simple as that. You answer your phone and done. Now, unfortunately, like, I don't work for Mint no more, right? For the sheer fact that I think the way that they don't address issues, right, gets on my nerves. I'm not a child, right? I'm a fully grown adult, and half of the people, or the majority, over half of the people working in the office are children, or I would classify as kids, yeah? 19, 20, 21, 22. To me, 23, 24, even 25 is a kid, you know? Like, they've got no, like, respect for nobody, you know? So when it comes to talking to people, they've got no respect. So my last day, basically, for them, I worked the tattoo tea party, right? And I was on my break, and I was having a tattoo done. Now, on my break, I'm on my time. I'm not on their time. And I had somebody come up to me who was pretty rude to me, and I was just like, basically, told me I had to go home, which is fair enough, yeah. Right, you want me to go home? I'll go home, but you don't talk to me rude, yeah. You don't try and disrespect me in front of loads of people and think it's okay. Hence, I left, yeah, right, because they can't fire me because there's no grounds to fire me, right? So I left, and I'm not going to go back because until they address certain issues, like I said, like their training policies and their staff out on sites and stuff, I'm not even interested in the company. They need to also reevaluate paying people as well because they don't do that right neither. And then in the space of a week, two people had a seizure in that company and it wasn't addressed. Like the issue was not addressed with nobody. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, like if something serious like that happened, you would want to address the issue. Like, but they didn't. And to me, that's bad. Like for a company, you've got to have your staff's welfare at mind, and you haven't. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah. I think this company has all the potential, right, that it needs. But without changing what they're doing, then nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same thing, the same revolving pattern that you see all the time. And I'm telling you, if you look at these reviews bag you guys big time, and you've got to do something about it. Because for a company, nobody likes you as a company, right? And like I said, I think you've got potential. You've got good potential to be a good company. But until you change things, it's not going to happen. But I got two recommendations, guys. If you are actually looking for like different work, I don't know, if you're looking for like hospitality work and like you like working hospitality side of it, or like you like working like events and everything else, then you can look up a company called Barcode. Good company to work for. I recommend them. They got a lot of work going in. And also there's another company if you like festivals, and I'm guessing you like festivals, private parties and all that kind of stuff. There's another one called Slick Recruitment. And there's also so many good like benefits with this company, like if you wanted to become like a proper cocktail trainer and stuff, as long as you're with the company and you invest the effort and the hard work into them, what they will do is they will invest into you. So as a company, I think that's really good. You invest in them, they invest in you, and like they don't mind. Like they will. There's two or three different schemes I think they've got going on. But one is if you want to do like cocktail training, like as long as you're with them for a certain amount of time and you're just a normal bar person, then you could do some cocktail training with them. And they pay for it and they upgrade you and make sure that you're good and the best at what you do. And also they also do flaring training. So after you're with them for a certain amount more times, I think you've got to be with them for like about a couple of months or something like that, or work a certain amount of shifts with them, and they open these doors for you. Like it's potential if you want to like put your creative hat on and like hit that next level. I recommend you take up Slick Recruitment. And these guys here, like, I think, like, are the best at the moment at what they're doing. You know, they're just like they've just started as a company, so I'm not getting paid for like plugging these guys. I'm not getting paid to plug anybody, yeah, because like it's not about that there, but like it's I it, it's a good company, like it's a really good company. Like the people there treat you with respect and everything else. But that's it, guys. That's my little rant on well, not even a rant, but that's my personal opinion on Mint, and I'm hoping that they can change their policies, I'm guessing, and the way that they do things. But for now, guys, I'm Drew, aka the Green Arrow, straight shooting people.